Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna make a little updated version of how I'm making my fake eye, realistic eyes, because I changed a little bit, and so I want to do like an updated version for you guys, and it's super cute and doesn't bubble up anymore, so I wanted to share. So before we start, you know the drill. Press that little subscribe button and the little bell button so you're the first one to get notified when my new videos are up. All my social medias are up there, and if you're looking for a specific video or a video in English and you just find it in Portuguese, just go to my video list and you can see in Portuguese and in English, and you can find the video you're looking for. So I'm gonna start with the Sculpey, but you can use any other not baking clay, just let it dry if you're using air dry clay. And I'm using this circle, half balls mold. Then I will have to, for you guys, to a link if you want to know what to get. And if you don't have it, just use that muddy putty, you know, like to make molds, and you can just use the amazing putty. Then I showed how to make the molds for the dolls and things like that, and you can make a doll or like a mold for circles for yourself. Just get marbles and things like round and just make a half a circle. So I'm gonna make a bunch of them, and I'm gonna put in the oven to bake for a little bit because I'm using Sculpey. But if you're using any air dry clay, just leave it to dry overnight, so you gonna be harder. But before we let it dry, we're gonna mark the center. So I'm just gonna making a bunch of different sizes, and then we're gonna just have already ready for when you scoping or modeling or making faces. Then you already have done, so you don't need to do the step after. So now I have all the half circles right there, the spheres, and then we're gonna start making where you're gonna paint them. So you're gonna need to find tools, back of brushes, anything that is round and matches the size you're using to make a little circle on the center. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna switch around the tool I'm using because I need different sizes. If you're going large on the base, you need to make larger circles on the middle. So you don't need to have all the tools for that too. I use normal, clay sculpting tools, but I use back of my paint brushes. I use anything round that I can find that suits my size. And then we're gonna do that, and all them, I don't do this little circle on the tiny one. I just paint because it's kind of hard to do it when it's super tiny. And if it is that tiny, that means then your face is going to be so small, then you don't need that much of detail work. So I'm gonna do the other ones, but I do make little circles for tiny little dolls too, what I can paint later or decide what I want to do. So we're gonna circle. You see I'm using the back on my paintbrush right now, and everything rounded then you can find we're gonna use for this. And we're gonna make that circle in all of them before you let them dry or before we need to bake them. So when you bake them, they are ready exactly the way you want it to do. I'm using translucent clay, but I would make with the white one because I thought that the translucent clay after baking kind of looked too much like a skin color. Somebody didn't really need some sun. So I think the white gives a little bit more contrast when you're making the eyes, but if you don't have it, works just fine as well. I made sometimes the translucent and sometimes the white, doesn't matter, whatever I have in hand, because you're probably gonna cover the whole thing anyway when you're putting, eyelids and all the details of the doll anyway. But I just wanted to show and say what I'm using exactly right now, so you guys can do the same. And you see I'm making circles and trying to make it then push down, and using the same tool to the other things so we know that they are the same size. So now we bake them for a little while. Since I'm using Fimo, if you're using air dry clay, just let it dry before, and we're gonna start paint the base in blue. I get a dark, like a royal blue, and I'm gonna make the whole base with a little excess of glue. Since I'm using the back of my paintbrush, I'm not using the right side, so it gets a little like more than normal amount of paint, and that's what I want, because now I'm gonna get the lighter one and we kind of gonna mix them right there, because when you see a color of eye, like it's not just one plain color. That's why I give you the depth, and they're like that's how you show how realistic the eyes is. So now with the paintbrush, I'm just gonna mix them both, and you're gonna see then we're gonna use colors and reuse colors, so don't worry about. And now with the lighter one, I'm just making lighter on the bottom part, just like that, and we're leaving a little darker on the top. And now with the darker one, we're gonna make darker on the top and lighter. It's because you always have the light coming down in one way, so making like that, it gives a contrast and makes your eyes look even more, cool. And use a cotton ball or anything for keep cleaning around, because you don't want this paint to dry on the top and anything. So now I'm going, then to dry a little bit, I'm gonna mix again, and I'm gonna put a little bit more of the dark, and we're gonna put a dark, and we're gonna put a lighter until your colors are going to dark and light without any, like you're getting your makeup done. So you're gonna, you get it, I hope. And now I'm gonna put a little bit more white, and we're gonna work it up, buff it out a little bit, because we don't want any, lines or any harsh division between the light and the dark. You want it to be like, pretty and all the one way. So now I'm gonna mark the black. Don't need to worry about, because we're gonna do that again. So I'm just marking so I know the center when I'm marking, and I'm gonna mark the light reflection just for my mind to know where it's gonna be, and because it shows on the bottom, but we're gonna make it again. And now with a really tiny little liner, I'm gonna go and make traces and light color the whole circle around. We're gonna do that, and you don't worry about the black and the white and you just did it, because we're gonna do that again before it dries. And we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Try to use as the thinner liner you have possible to make it very light, the strokes. And now we're gonna do with the darker one. You see that I mix both colors. I'm leaving my paint right there so you guys can see that we mix both. And now we're gonna make some little traces in the dark color all the way around to give that little streaks that the eyeball has. And now we're using the back of the brush, because now you're gonna make a perfect circle with the black and the middle of the eyes you're making. And we're gonna do this little powder. Is like a holographic powder. I will leave the link below as well for you guys. I love this powder to make like mermaid tail, or to make those eyes, or anything that you want to shine but not be glittery. It's so beautiful and gives a reflection and makes it shine without those little pieces of glitter. And I will leave the link below for you guys if you want to find it. And now I'm putting my light reflection again. So now I'm gonna clean everything, and normally that's what I used to do, the UV acrylic top. That's what I used to do. That's how it should be before. And now I'm using the Lisa Pavesca Magic Gloss, and I will leave the link below if I found it for you guys. And I just gonna cover that whole thing and that clear gloss and put in a UV lights, and look how beautiful it is. There's no bubbles, there's nothing. It's so pretty and so cool. Then it just gives it a different effect than you guys cannot even believe. I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to give me a little like, and to check it out, my show more, underline right there from the video. I put all the links, materials, everything that I want to say for you guys. And leave me a comment. I would love to see your comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I talk to you guys on my next video. Bye.